All right, this will be the second part of NumberGuesser, and let's finish it off. Right now, we just get a random number with these two lines. We print it out to cheat for ourselves. So if the number was 3, we print out the 3. And then we say, hey, guess a number, and then we get the number in a variable, a string variable called guessString. Remember that console.readline can only get us strings. It can't get anything else like ints. Then we have to cast. This is the line that casts the variable guessString that I got from readline. It casts it as an integer with the command int.parse. This spits out guessString as an integer, and I stored it in the integer called guessInt. And for the rest of my program, I just use guessInt. Okay, so that's the basic layout of this. Let's go do some greater than less than. It's not just you guessed it right. Let's give our hints, and let's actually just do the while loop right off the bat. I'm going to get rid of all this, and we're going to leave the cast. Could get rid of the cheat, I guess. No, we'll keep it for now. But let's go plan a little bit, okay? Keep asking until they get it right. That's what we want to do. So we're going to have to repeat asking them, okay? And this is the lines that ask them to guess the number. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to actually select it and copy it because I'm going to recycle that in just a sec. And in a minute, maybe we'll try to get rid of it entirely. And hopefully you're thinking, oh, maybe I could do that too. I could just say guess a number once in my program and use that a lot. So, okay, repeat 10 times. It doesn't like that. I want to keep repeating. You remember from Python how to do that? How do I keep doing something repeatedly? It's a while loop, okay? Not a for loop. I could use a for loop if I want them to be able to guess just 10 times or 5 times or something. But for now, we're just going to use a while loop. Remember that after a while, I have to have an expression or a condition. While, and let's do a forever loop. We could do 0 equals 0. We could do while true. I don't know if we can do while 1. Let's see if we can. It should be that any non-zero number or integer should be true. I don't know if that's true in C# like it was in Python, but let's go system dot, what am I doing? Console. Right line high. This is just for my own benefit to test and see if 1 cannot be converted to Boolean unless I could probably go Boolean dot, bool dot parse, and I could cast, but let's not bother. Let's just go while 0 equals 0, just while true, okay? And notice it's all lowercase in C#. Okay, while true, right line high. No, it's still doing my old. Oh no, there we go. Okay, so I run it 3. High. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I did all this and then I did the right line high forever. We don't want to right line high. We want to say guess a number. Okay, and remember they're trapped in the loop. So I'm going to run this. And what does it say? A local variable named guessString. Oh, I'm doing guessString again. Hey. Oh, I can't declare it. Sorry. And I've seen people do this before. You only use the word int or string once on a variable. Okay, you declare it. Usually at the beginning. I should have declared it up here, but it's kind of sloppy of me to do it like this. Usually in most programming, you and I feel kind of dumb. You declare all your variables at the top. So let's go do that real quick. Int guess int string guess string and int secret. Okay. Now these are declaring my variables. What that means is from now on for the rest of my program, I can't ever use the word int, string, and int again when I use them. Okay. And I assign them later on, but I never say int again. I never declare it again. That's creating it. Okay. So yeah, let's see if this fixes it. Oh, and I gotta get rid of the word string here. I'm using guessString, but I'm not redeclaring it. Okay. Guess number 1 and 10, 3, 10, okay. I'm stuck in a forever loop. Now, one way to do this. While they have the wrong guess. What does they have the wrong guess means? It means their guess string, no, their guess int is not equal the secret. 3, 2, 1, 0, and then 6, 6. And you're like, oh, wait a minute. I'm comparing guess int and secret here. Why didn't I not get out when I had the right guess? Because I stored the guess in guess string, and I didn't cast it again. So this is kind of a bigger pain in the butt than Python, but it's just going to be this line again, right? And maybe there's a better way to do this. I assume there is, but I don't know it. All right, so 4, 3, 10, and we're out. Okay, so outside the loop, I'm not going to print. You made it out of the loop. I'm going to say, good job. You guessed right. Okay, so here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's 5. Now, in a minute, we're going to jack these numbers up to 100. We're going to go between 0 and 100 or 0 and 1,000 or whatever. But to do that, we're going to have to give hints and get rid of our cheat. Okay, so to give hints, and actually, this while before I go into that, let's try to trim this up. Like, I think we can do this more elegantly. And part of programming, half of programming is just getting the job done. Half of it is thinking, how can I make it better, faster, more elegant, easier to read, or less lines of code. And let's actually do that right now. Okay. First off, I kind of like the condition. I think most of us like to have infinite loops and then break. Okay, if guess int equals secret, I'm just going to leave break on the same line. Remember, I could put parentheses or opening curly braces and closing curly braces, but if it's a simple command, a one-line command, I can just put it right after that. And remember, the if ends at the semicolon. Okay, so true and break. And let's try that. Let's just test it. Always got to make sure it works. 4, 1. Good job. Okay. What else? I ask for the number twice and convert it twice. Okay. I'm going to actually put this comment on this line. Cast secret to a number. And let's bring it up. And let's put these 3 lines together like they're kind of the same thing. Print, get a number input, and then convert or cast. Okay, so that's these 3 lines here still. See how they're doubled up? I have the same 3 lines here as the same 3 lines here. There's a few ways to force myself into the loop. Okay, the easiest way, or at least for me, is to say, well, you know what? We don't even have to do anything because we did the while true. Let's try it. 4, 100, 9. Good job. Why did this work? I declared my variables up here. I casted my secret to I casted secret to no, secret already wasn't it. I casted nothing right here. I cast it down here. This while true forces me in every time, right? And I only leave if I get the right number, if my guess was the same as secret. And then I break out of the loop. So that was pretty good. We could also, what if we'd left the condition here? And I know this is, you're like, grammar, quit going back and forth. Those of you who listen to this part will actually benefit a lot more than those who don't, okay? So while guess in equals secret, no, not while they have the right guess, while they have the wrong guess, keep asking for it. And if I try it this way and run it, it says, hey, you're using an unassigned local variable called guessInt. GuessInt, you're comparing it right here, and it never gets assigned till you're inside the loop right here. Okay, so I created guessInt at the top, I declared it, and then I never assigned it till down here, but I tried to compare it somewhere in the middle before I had assigned it. So it's saying you can't do that. And this is where you'd use like a gibberish value. You'd say int guessInt equals 999, or let's go negative 9999, and that way it forces them into the loop. Okay, so notice that negative 99999 does not equal the secret number, whatever it was. I'll run it again, and it's negative 99999. Oh, and 0 is a valid number, so I need to change this. Let's go 1 to 10, or 1 to 11, yeah. Okay, and now I could go 0. If I knew that 0 wasn't a possibility, I could say, hey, my guessInt equals -1, or some number that would never be a possibility. Oh, no, it actually doesn't matter. It could be 7. Oh, no, because what if it was accidentally a secret number? Yeah. I want to make it something that could not ever be the secret number. That way it forces them into the loop because the guess was not the secret number. And let's do it with the do while loop. Let's get rid of this. So this makes it work. The final way I want to show you how to do this is with the do while loop. Okay, so I'm going to take the comparison, the conditional comparison, and put it at the end. So do this while, and remember when you do a do while loop, it tells you in the hint how a do while loop works, but you need to have a semicolon at the end, unlike a while loop. Now, why does this fix it? Because this is a post-test loop. This checks to see if guess int not equals secret after this line of code in here works. So remember, it never looks at guess int until after it's been assigned once. So, you know, like, now it works this way, -1. If you understand what I'm saying right now, you are, you know, probably doing pretty good. I know it's kind of, I'm all over the map, but I'm trying to show you several different ways to do it. If you're following what I'm saying, good job. If you don't, do what you can, get by. Some of you are more visual learners, you just need to see it. Some of you are more auditory or verbal learners that you need to hear it explained. Some of you are just slacker watts and you're just typing what I type at the end, but you know, there's a special place in help created just for you guys. It's called, yeah, I don't know, having a job you hate later on, but maybe you'd hate programming for a job, I don't know. Okay, do while loop instead. I'm going to leave that for now. You know what? It's just not the same. Get rid of the semicolon there. Okay, and now I need to... There we go. Okay, make sure it works one more time. We're ready for our hints. Sorry, all this was just to get it all set up. Show you some different ways to do it in loops. Hey, you want to see it with the for loop? No, you don't. And let's go give hints. If they guess too high, print guess lower. And the opposite is also true. If they guess too low, print guess higher. Okay. So what's print? It's console.writeLine. And it's going to go on the next line. If it looks the same, they guess too high. We need to know what they guess too high means. Okay, it means their guess, and it looks like it's guess int. If their guess int too high is greater than or alligator mouth or alligator mouth. If their guess, let's do it this way. Guess int alligator secret, the secret number variable. Then, oh, there is no then, and I've forgotten my parentheses. Please note this does work. You don't have to have the curly braces. But you do have to make sure they line up correctly. You can't have an opening curly brace and not have a closing curly brace. I recommend you always, the second you type an opening curly brace, go immediately type its closing curly brace and put them lined up where you can, where it works for you. If it's on this line, the previous line. Just remember, I could have this right after because it's a single command, just like the break we did earlier. I'm going to copy and paste this and switch the alligator mouth around. And say the opposite, guess higher. Okay, and I know this is a big leap for some of us, but it's also boring for some of us, so hopefully you took some stuff home in your brain from Python class. So I'm going to do 0. Guess lower. I'm going to do 1,000. Guess higher. Higher than 1,000, 1,001. And immediately you should say, oh, grammar, your alligator mouths are all wrong. Okay, so that one, and that is pronounced greater than. And this one, and if this hurts your eyes, put a space between them if that helps you. Okay, let's go 3. Guess higher. 10. Guess lower. 9. Good job, you guessed right. Okay, this is probably, you know, your 80 or 90% version if we took a test on this. Last thing, let's not do while guess int equals 0. Let's do a for loop. For int I. See if you can remember how it works. Int I equals 0. While I is less than 10. I plus plus. Okay, that's just the general form for loops, if you can remember that. And they can guess 10 times. The problem with this is they always guess 10 times, and if I run it now, oh, it crashes when I put in gibberish. So that's one thing that should bug you, is that the programs crash if you ever do anything wrong. Later on, we'll try to do input handling and make sure that, okay, so I went too fast, but I guessed 10 times, and at the end it said good job. Okay, so we should only say good job if they got the right guess. Okay, so I'm going to paste that in there. If guess in, not equals secret, no, if it equals secret, then we should print that. Okay, now here's the deal. Oops, I got an extra 2 in there somewhere. Run it. I'm going to go 1, 1, 1, 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. And then it said guess higher, and then it pressed any key to continue. Okay, we need to be able to say you lose or you win. And there's another thing. They only get out of the loop. I'm going to guess 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. And they'll only get it right if they guess it on the 10th guess. So we need to take this inside the loop, right? If it was too high, too low, or just right, just like Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. What else should we do if they get it right, though? If they get it right in here, let's run it. Okay, it's 5. No, it's 0. No, it's 1. 1. Good job, good job, good job, good job, good job, good job. And then they're out of the loop. They still have to do it 10 times. What should I do after they guess it right? Let's get out of the loop. The command that takes us out of the current level of indent is called break. So it takes me out of the for loop. Okay. So it says good job. One other thing. Let's do it. 5, 0, 1. Good job. You guessed right. We're done. One last thing is if they guess too many times, we should say too many guesses. Okay, so we wouldn't just want to console.write line too many guesses if they made it out of the loop, because there's 2 ways to get out of the loop. There's this break, and there's this for loop did it 10 times. Okay, so that the thing there is that we don't want to just say too many guesses, because what if they got it right and they broke out? So let's go try it. I guess 1. Good job, you guessed right. Too many guesses. Oh, it always says too many guesses because that's what's right after the for loop. So we need to if right here. If their guesses were, if they guess too many times, and you're like, oh, we need a variable for that. If their guess count was greater than 9, and I'm just going to leave this on the same line just to prove to you that you can. Now the thing is, there's no guess count right now. It turns red. I'm going to go declare a variable called guess count. And it's going to start at 0. And every time they guess, or every time the loop starts over, you have used, oh crap, we're going to have to cast. And if this were Python, we could just put commas here. But we're not in Kansas anymore. We're going to have to use pluses, and it looks like I put that on the wrong side. There we go, black operators. And I don't know if that's going to work. It might. Let's try it. A semicolon expected on mine. Okay, so the only thing wrong is that guess count never increased. Okay, when should I increase it? Right after they guess, or somewhere in the loop. And how do I do it? Well, you learned this in the last unit. You can go guess count. If you try to go guess count plus 1, not enough. It says, hey, that doesn't do anything. How do I change a variable with the equal sign? If say guess count equals its old value, whatever it used to be, plus 1 more, and that adds 1 onto it. What was the shortcut? Plus equals. And what was an even shorter shortcut? Guess count plus plus. Okay. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And the number, I forgot, is it that was 5. Good job, you guessed right. I want to say you guessed right using get that many tries. Okay, I am not, well, I'll scroll down through it one more time for those of you who actually tried and missed something. So I'm starting at the top of the program now and scrolling slowly down. If it's too fast, you can just pause and rewind the video. But this is what I got so far. And that's probably the most interesting, foolish version of NumberGuesser I can think of. Please make sure your your curly braces, you have an opening curly brace here for main and a closing curly brace at the end. Notice that I only have 2 lines of code outside of this for loop. I have this section outside the for loop. Everything else is tabbed inside the for loop's curly braces. Ooh, and you do not line up. Come back here. There we go. And that shows me that this if is right outside the for loop's closing curly brace. These line up. Everything is pretty like it should be. And if you're thinking, grammar, I'm too cool for that. Well, you're too cool to have a program that's easier to debug too. Okay, so that's it for this program. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.